All right, here's the deal. I want to start this off by saying that this is long overdue. Like everything about this video and everything in it is so long overdue. The fact that this song even exists, I would even say. I've been procrastinating this for a long time, and it's about time that this happened. I say all that to say that I'm a little out of practice in making these kind of videos as well. So, in short, strap in. And for those of you that probably aren't as familiar with me, because some of you are probably coming from the TetraFuze camp, my name is Joshua Olin. I have my own side project that I release music under the name Olin. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're here to talk about a song that I wrote with a little known band called TetraFuze from the KC metro area. I've been playing with them for a little over 2 years at this point. We have our first show of the year coming up this weekend at the time of this recording, which should be pretty sick. But yeah, a few months back, Landon hit me up to write this song with him, and we ended up calling it Through Stained Glass. So for this installment of See These Lyrics, that's what we're going to talk about. Here we go. I remember Landon hitting me up about laying down a bass part for him just to send it to him so he could get this demo for an instrumental he was working on. And I thought that was pretty sick that he would even consider me while he was producing a track. So I was especially shocked a few days later. It was almost a week later, I think, actually. It was Christmas Eve. And even furthermore, it was a Sunday. Christmas Eve Sunday. I'm still in my church clothes basically all day because we had service that morning and another service that night. I'm out in the town with my parents, and Landon gives me a call. He's like, "Hey, remember that song that I asked you to do a bass part for?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah. I was wondering if you could come over and help me finish writing it." Because I was out on the town looking at Christmas lights and such with my family. I was like, "All right, just give me a few minutes. I'll run home, grab my bass, and head right over." And then we wrote this song. And I remember he was working on the instrumental. He wanted me to focus on lyrical melodies, and I can't focus on melodies without also considering lyrics. So I just started writing. And so I wrote what would eventually be the chorus of this song. And we called it Through Stained Glass, obviously. But we'll start it from the beginning before we get to that. The opening verse. Take me away, I am too much out of place. I'm getting one shot for me just to cut to the chase. To be honest, I don't know what that second part means. Landon wrote that. And I listened to a song later on that he, like, a reference point for the song. And I was kind of mad at him because I heard something that sounded very similar, but I don't think I ever told him that. But yeah, take me away, I'm too much out of place. Like setting the stage, like you're in an environment that you're not familiar with. You know something about this isn't right. Cast away in the debris of what you left here behind. One more example of what happens when the blind lead the blind. Okay, so what is happening here is the narrator has been discarded, has been betrayed, has been set up to take a fall of some sort. And they feel kind of a sense of shame and guilt for not really seeing it coming and just feeling like complete scum, basically. That's kind of the setting the stage. What better way to kick off a metal song? Push me away, you never wanted to stay, trying to keep all my emotions in the harbor at bay, projecting all of the problems you lacked the courage to face, evolving violently and on the prowl for your prey. Me and Landon had a certain situation in mind that specifically concerned our friend and our bandmate Kalon with the situation he's been dealing with. He's spoken about it in his own way through his own channels, so we won't really go into it here. But yeah, I was dealing with my own little thing during that same time that we were writing this song. And so, not to say that the situations are perfectly identical, but that's a whole other, don't even get me started on that. We were both kind of just dealing with situations, and this song is reminiscent of a circumstance where somebody is beginning to put all the pieces together and realizes that this person that they saw in a certain way was never really like that to begin with. Or maybe if they were at one point, something changed. And now the narrator kind of feels stupid for not seeing it coming. And in wanting to confront these issues in order to come to some kind of resolution, The narrator feels like they're at a bit of a standstill because now this person has no real interest in patching things up and expresses no interest in providing closure or clarity, which sucks. The chorus is one of my favorite things that I've ever done. Not that I haven't ever screamed before, but this is the first time where it's been like I do this. Listen to me. I should have known how to read between the lines. Now I'm fluent to your nonsense. You would only ever plow the way for weeds and vines. You were the snake in the garden. You only ever plowed the way for weeds and vines. You set me up for failure. You anticipated this thing falling through in the very end anyways. And I realize that now. You were the snake in the garden. Biblical reference to Eden and the snake in the garden, the serpent being the devil. The Garden of Eden was this perfect place that surely nothing could possibly go wrong within until the serpent shows up and the fall of man as we knew it happened, and that was the whole thing. Kind of still is. Now we're living with the consequences of that. Cast away in the debris of what happened there, you could say. That kind of came full circle, didn't it? You're a stone through the stained glass, destroying what is sacred. Your love is conditional. Your loyalty is makeshift. And technically, of course, it's not necessarily the stained glass itself that is sacred, but more so the institution that it belongs to, or not so much the institution even, but just the principalities that it's associated with or what makes it sacred. But this is kind of a surface level way of saying it provides much better visual in the sense of I saw this as something precious and I thought it was really something incredible, but you ripped it to shreds. You're the one that broke it to pieces, which brings us to verse 3, which I actually didn't write. Landon wrote this after I had left his house when we had this song, what I thought was done, but he added another verse, which is cool. I'm not even mad. You're breaking me to pieces. You're to blame. I don't want to be this. I mean, I won't explain it because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. If Landon has any special reason he put that there, he can explain that through his own channels or the TetraFuze channel, which, by the way, you should be following. Oh yeah, I skipped over. Oh, I didn't want to miss that. The most profound lyric of the entire song, right before the breakdown. Just penetrates your soul in a way that doesn't even need explaining. Why did I do that? But yeah, that's basically all the parts of the song. This song was so much fun coming together with. I feel like it was a culmination of so many different things that made it possible. Not only have I been close with the band for a number of years at this point and filling in on bass for them initially 2 years ago again, and it's to a point now where it feels like I really am part of the collective. This song felt like kind of the closing chapter of what would be the initiation process for me. I still don't know if either of them have come out and said, yeah, you're actually the guy. You're the bass player. But this, having a writer's credit on this song, I think is kind of reminiscent of that idea. So, yeah. And this was something that, at the time, I was just in a really bad place, not having a good time at all. And so, I don't think I ever told Landon this. Not in extreme detail, but it was definitely what I needed. It's probably the best Christmas present I ever got. Well, I mean, I've been gifted guitars by my family, and for obvious reasons, those kind of take the cake. But that's a gift that no one else could have gave me. So, Landon, if I never told you, really, thank you for that. It really means more than you know. And the Miles Claiborne on the production for this track, that was really cool. My favorite part of this track instrumentally comes at the very tail end of that last breakdown, where it syncopates in a way that it's hard to explain without using a bunch of big nerdy music guy words, so I won't even try. Yeah, this is the first I guess, real metal track that I ever got to write, and I'm really happy with how it came out. And I think it deserves many more plays than it has gotten on Spotify. So you should go listen to it, study up on the lyrics, rewind this video, and we'll go through them all again if we need to. But I want to hear you guys singing it with us in Wichita at Barleycorns, May the 4th. Yeah, I said May the 4th. I know what you're thinking. Bunch of nerds. But yeah, that does it for this installment of See These Lyrics. That was Through Stained Glass by TetraFuze. Shout out to those guys. Follow them on all their channels. Follow me on all of mine while you're at it. And yeah, wherever you are in the world, until I see you again, be safe, be kind to each other. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you soon.